Raiders, the next week of competitive trials has arrived, and with 5 brand new challenges to test your skills topside, things might get a little crazy. My name is Kodiak, this is Legacy Gaming, and today we're bringing you our weekly trials breakdown to help you climb those leaderboards. After almost 2 weeks, I think it's safe to say we've got our bearings with Arc Raiders, and our plan is to be here each week to break down the new trials so you can complete them efficiently, grab those 3-star rankings, and do everything solo. If you haven't engaged with this system yet, we have a fantastic guide already on the channel breaking down both trials and projects, so check that out to get up to speed. In this weekly video series, we'll break down how many kills or task completions you need in order to reach the 4,000 point threshold for a 3-star ranking, which trial challenges are the best ways to farm for high points, and the major pitfalls that can occur if a task is noticeably more challenging. With all trial challenges, you're going to want to complete these on major map conditions, the one that show a clear 2x bonus on their UI element, such as night raids, electromagnetic storm, and even the hidden bunker event on Spaceport. You'll also want to make sure you're loading into a fresh map, so pay attention to that timer at the top of your screen. If you're in at the 30 to 40 minute mark, depending on the map, you'll maximize your time to earn points up until the very end. Getting into a raid halfway through is a complete waste of your time, since you'll miss out on a ton of enemy respawns, challenges that require specific tasks which may have already been completed, leaving you with less time to earn the maximum amount of points. You'll want to push yourself to stay in the round until those very last minutes, extracting only after a bulk majority of the players have left, which is normally safer when solo. That can always change, so play it safe. Remember, you have to successfully extract to retain any points you earn during the raid. With that out of the way, let's jump in this week's challenges. Damage Wasps is one of the easiest challenges to complete this week, but it's also one of the best to farm for points. When on a major map condition, Wasp kills will award 440 points per kill, meaning if you're trying to get in and out, you'll need 10 Wasp kills to reach the 3-star threshold. Keep in mind these also need to be undamaged, since the task isn't to kill the Wasp, it's to damage them. You have a couple different ways you can go about doing this depending on the map. We suspect a lot of players will continuously rotate around the outskirts of the map, sniping Wasps and Snitches, aggroing them to your relatively safe position. You could also bring something like a Hole Cracker in to quickly run from group to group, so long as you don't stay in any one place for too long. Another option is to pick an elevated location on the outskirts of a map that you can only reach by zipline. The trench towers on Spaceport, especially during Hidden Bunker, is easily one of the best, since you can trap your zipline and sit on top and easily snipe the numerous wasps that populate the area every time they respawn. There is a third option, and while it does paint you as a giant target, it's an easy way to accumulate the most amount of points. Using this method requires snitch scanners and farming the wasps that spawn when you throw them. You're really only limited by the amount of scanners you can bring in and how long you can safely survive the eyes of other players. We can easily see someone getting 30,000 plus points with this method alone, so we wanted to toss it out there in case anyone is crazy enough to try it. Download data from the Hidden Bunker is a really strange trial challenge. Not only do we strongly recommend you do this solo due to the much more friendly nature of these lobbies, but it just takes a long time to complete for a trial challenge that has a point cap of 6,400. That's because there are only 8 terminals inside the Hidden Bunker, each of which you can download 1 data from. Each set of data you download will earn you 800 points towards your trial, meaning you can choose to grab 5 terminals and leave if you're feeling too spooked by how other players are acting. When you load into the Hidden Bunker map, 4 antennas will need to be activated before the bunker actually opens. We've actually found this to be the time on solo runs that players often PvP the most, so either wait near one of the Hidden Bunker entrances located below the departure building, or try to rally a crew of players to complete each antenna together. Keep in mind these antennas are always randomly placed at the start of the map, so don't expect to always hit the same locations. Once these are all active, head to the bunker. Inside there will be 8 computer terminals that start out with no light indicator active. Whoever activates the terminal to begin downloading data will need to stand by it while a yellow light flashes and a green progress bar appears on the screen. Once this bar completes, the light will turn green and the data can be collected. This data remains gatherable for roughly 10 to 15 seconds by all players nearby, but once that timer expires, the computer will lock down, turning red, and you'll have to wait another 2 to 3 minutes for the console to reset and come back online. The strategy here is to pay attention to which consoles are near completion and grab the data if you can and move on to the next activated console. You don't really want to be the person to activate a console since you'll be stuck there, but if you have to, you have to. As time goes on, players will get impatient and sometimes trigger happy. There's also inevitably that one player who will try to grenade an entire group standing at a console, so be prepared to run at the first sign of trouble. If you do get all 8 terminals downloaded, get to the extract and secure your 6,400 points. Arguably, one of the most difficult trial challenges to complete is Deliver Carriables, because unlike any other challenge, the items you need to interact with are on a limited spawn. That's to say, when you load into a map, what spawns is what's there for the entirety of the raid, and you guessed it, that means players are absolutely willing to kill to secure these. Your head needs to constantly be on a swivel, and you may need to get bloodthirsty even if you're normally a peaceful solo. Each carryable you deliver will net you 1,000 points towards your trial under a major map condition. That means you'll either need to secure 4 field crates and bring them to the respective field depots, or grab something like power cells that you find on the various Blue Gate puzzles. We initially thought Blue Gate would be the play since both Ancient Fort and the security door puzzles each require you to deliver 3 power cells, ideally netting you around 6,000 points. The problem is these POIs are far from one another, so realistically you'd only be able to get one set done per raid before another player. But the other issue that arises is that both of these will be hotly contested. That means you might not even walk away before getting those completed. That brings us to our preferred option, and it always comes back to Dam Battlegrounds. This map has a whopping 6 field depots, and that means there are typically 2 to 3 field crates near each one. You'll need to run this a few times to get a sense for where these crates like to spawn. Just be critically aware of the enemies and the sounds of other players nearby, and know when it's realistically time to just get out with the points you have. The 3 best field depot locations to farm are the ones by South Swamp Outpost, Water Towers, and Hydroponic Dome Complex. Only the last one, the Dome, really sees a lot of PvP action, but again, as time goes on, players will change their habits based on the active trial. Destroy Fireballs is one of the easiest trials to complete on any map, and while you can potentially farm this for loads of points, most fireballs spawn in high traffic, high loot areas, which means the likelihood of running into another player is extremely high. Each fireball kill awards you 740 points, so you'll need to kill at least 6 for your 3-star threshold. Buried City works great for this challenge as you'll find fireballs in the hospital, Galleria, parking garage, library, research, and space travel buildings, but also every open subway station usually has a fireball in or near it. This makes rotating between these POIs quick and simple. Don't loot, just get in, get the kills, and move on. Another great place to farm fireballs is in the underground areas of Blue Gate. These tunnel networks are littered with patrolling fireballs, and it's one of the places we got this done the quickest because most players were more concerned with the loot puzzles, but as always, this can change. If there's one Arc Raiders trial where you have the potential to go absolutely ham farming points, it's Damage Bastions. These are the tankiest enemies in the game apart from the Queen, but Bastions can respawn throughout a match. Better still, every time an elite enemy is killed in an area, the Bastion has a chance to immediately respawn to fill that elite enemy void. If you can solo kill a Bastion, you'll earn a massive 4,500 points, enough to complete your 3 stars instantly. However, because this is a Damage Bastions trial, you need to be the one to fully damage and kill it yourself, and there's some things you should know to accomplish that. First is to use Wolf Packs. If you use these correctly, meaning no other enemies are nearby, and you toss the grenade above the target's head, 2 to 3 of these will kill the Bastion. This is by far the fastest method that exposes you to the least amount of risk. We like to run a Hull Cracker at the same time, and takes roughly 2 Wolf Packs and 5 Hull Cracker shots to finish the job. If you're brave enough, you can quickly kill the Bastion, loot it for parts, and then move out of the area before other players converge. The second option is to bring Blaze Grenades and a Hull Cracker while you nestle yourself somewhere secluded and easily defensible. Tossing 2 to 3 Blaze Grenades on the Bastion followed by a dozen or so Hull Cracker shots should kill it quickly, but it's a lot more noise for a lot longer duration. Spaceport tends to have multiple Bastion spawns, and if RNG is on your side, you should be able to kill 4 or even 5 of these in a match. Dam Battlegrounds during night raids also tend to have one on the eastern side of the dam, one down by Hydroponic Dome Complex, and if you kill the Bombardier on the western side of the dam, there's a chance a Bastion respawns in that location. It's easy to be elusive on this map during the nighttime, which is why we prefer it, especially when doing trials solo. So there you have it, how to 3-star all trial challenges for week 3 during the second week of November 2025. As always, if you appreciate the work that goes into making these guides, do me a solid, hit that thumbs up, and consider subscribing. We'll have more Arc Raiders content in your feed soon, so keep it right here and never miss a thing. My name is Kodiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.